Hi friends, welcome to Tech and Knowledge. Today we are going to talk about defect reporting, or you can also call it a bug reporting or issue reporting. So I would be talking through some of the standard guidelines based on the industry best practices, how to report a defect or an issue. So let's start. So how a well-reported defect should look like? You must also be having some, certain guidelines or certain sections in your mind. I will just try to collate it at one place. Uh, Typically, you would like to start with the summary, the severity and priority, the step to reproduce, expected results, environment details, attachments, and any additional information. We will be talking about them in our future slides. Okay, so if I start with the summary, the subject, or you can also call it the title. This is very important for us to describe an appropriate title for our defect. It is nothing but a very short and crisp sentence to describe it. For example, error occurs after clicking contact us link in homepage. So that's a very short and sweet description of any summary of or the title of a defect. You need not to be very articulative. You can add it in the description section, but yes, at the summary level, you should be very short. Second comes for any defect, it also should have the severity and priority. So first we take severity. Severity is nothing but the magnitude of the bug which impacts to application. So it also shows how serious the defect is. Some of the indicative categories could be, the blocker. The blocker is something where the functionality is missing, system crashes, etc. Second is critical. If there is a security issue, if there is a data loss, you can call it critical. If it is major, so like if your website hangs, so it's something like, it's falls in the category of major. And the minor is something where you encounter any cosmetic problem. So these are the various indicative categories of severity. So based on your defect management tool, whether you are using VSTS, HPLM, Jira, or maybe Bugzilla, these categories could vary, but more or less it will remain same. So next comes the priority. So priority is an indicator of the bug which affect the business. This is very important because generally priority is set by the business team. So the typical priority could be, P1, P2, P3, P4, where P1 is the urgent, which defect are the urgent issues which needs to be fixed immediately. P2 means it's a high priority, where defect must be resolved in this release. And P3 is a medium one, where it should be fixed. It would like to be fixed, but it won't hold the overall product shipment. And the finally P4 is the low priority, where defects are not as strong as desirable, and that can be deferred to the next release. So business will basically decide on one particular defect, what could be the priority to them. I can give you some examples of two different ends. One is if you have a defect of high priority, or we have an of low severity. For example, a company logo which is not properly displayed, or which if it is misspelled on the home page, the severity could be low, but the priority would always be high. Second example we can take up of a low priority but high severity. If your application crash whenever a user enters 100 characters in a name text box in which it should accept not more than 10 characters. So this is one of the example of high severity but low priority defect. Next comes the steps to reproduce. This is very important because that is how we are going to put the materials, the meat inside the defects. So there are certain guidelines I would just like to reiterate, that each step, whatever you're going to put as it steps to reproduce should be a very short sentence. Each step should have the step number and which illustrate there is a sequencing of actions. And very important is each sentence should be started with a verb. If you keep these three things, in your mind, you would be able to write a very good steps to reproduce. I can give an example from my side, like select file from menu bar, click and open button from the pop-up dialog box. So these are two steps I would be writing to reproduce my defect. And the next step is my expected results. So that will actually say what I would expect out of those steps. So it is again is normally again a one short sentence to describe. For example, is load file dialog box pops up. So we need to keep it very short and put mostly in a one liner form as far the expected result is concerned. So next section which I told initially it is the environment details. For any defect where you are raising it is in dev, or is this in UAT environment, or it is in production environment, that is very important. So accordingly, fix can also be provided. Next is the attachment. If you feel that there is any screenshots or the files that provide more details about the defects, yes, I think we should provide any attachments to it, which will help the developer. And finally, is there any additional information or the comment you want to add, which can help the developer to understand the bug better, so that he can start working on the fix as soon as possible. So these are some some guidelines. I think I thought of sharing with you. It's worth sharing with you about defect reporting. I hope you have liked this video. Do comment about your feedback. I appreciate your time. You take it out to go through this video. Thank you once again. I I appreciate.